How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Dan. We're back at Physique Fitness here in Tring, UK. And today we're doing a video that I wanted to be one of the first videos on this newly relaunched channel, and that is, you've seen it, how to go to the gym. So this is gonna be really useful to you guys that are totally green and haven't trained in the gym at all. I'm gonna answer a lot of questions for you to help you get your foot in the door. If you're one of the bros and you already go to the gym, don't worry, there's gonna be some useful tips you can pick up from this video as well. So keep watching to see what it's all about, and here we go. Okay guys, so once again, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Now let's talk about the gym. So I first wanted to make this video for two reasons. Number one, I get asked all the time very basic questions about how do I do this, how do I go to the gym? And if I'm honest with myself, when I started the gym some 16 years ago, I had these similar questions and they seem silly to me now, but damn, I wish I had a video answering some of these basic questions that I could just hop onto and not just fumble and struggle for a year until I figured it out. So what I'm doing is stepping out on myself now and talking to Dan 16 years ago, and hopefully it'll resonate really well with you guys too. So what I'm gonna do with this video is break it down into a how to start the gym in 6 steps. Need another finger. Oh, you see my paper. I've scribbled it all down on this paper, off the top of my head, so it's fresh and honest. So the number one is, before we've even started going to the gym, I hear from a lot of people that there is some concern and anxiety around even starting. We hear things like, I'm embarrassed about my body or the way that I look, or I'm intimidated or worried about going into the gym. People will look at me and see that I'm doing exercises incorrectly, or that I'm not very big or strong or in shape. Guys, you will have heard so many people say it before, I'm about to say it now. Nobody cares what you're doing in the nicest way possible. Everybody in the gym really, truly is focused, sometimes even obsessed with themselves. 99% of people in the gym really aren't interested in what you're doing, what you look like, or the exercises that you're doing. And you can really go the other way. The gym community is typically pretty friendly, so even if you are out of shape or people can tell that you're new, the majority of people will be decent people and being good for you for at least starting. And secondly, you don't need to be so nervous about not knowing what you're doing, because I'm gonna tell you that's why you're here. And if on the sad off chance someone is a jerk and tries to make you feel bad, you have my permission to punch them in the throat. So step number 2, and our first proper step, I'm going to call understanding the goal. A lot of people will go to the gym just because they have to, or they think they're going to get fit, or they need to get fit. But you really need to know what you're trying to do so that you can go ahead and execute it properly. So I'm gonna say there are 3 main reasons that people go to the gym, their goals. Number 1, building muscle tissue. Number 1, losing body fat. And number 3, improving fitness. So just to quickly go over these goals so you understand what you're really trying to do. If you're trying to build muscle, you're going to lift weights, which is going to stimulate your muscles to grow, and you're going to eat extra food than your body needs so it will grow bigger. Number 2 is losing body fat. That's an easy one. What you're doing is diet and cardio. So you're restricting calories through your body. So your body doesn't have enough calories to function, basically, so it will liberate and burn body fat to get the extra energy. So what you need to do is do the right things to put yourself in a caloric restriction. So that's going to be eating less, dieting, or doing cardio so that you're using and burning more calories than you're eating. So number 3 is fitness. So disregard 1 and 2 just for the moment and concentrate on improving your cardiovascular fitness. So that's just going to be anything where you're doing high intensity exercise that gets your heart and lungs pounding and pumping harder than usual over time. That's going to make you fitter. So you need to decide what your goal is in the first place, and that's going to put you on the right path to figure out what you're going to do next when you actually get in the gym. Just before we move on to number 3, I want to touch on a point that you hear all the time, and that is, I want to build muscle and I want to lose body fat, or worse, I want to tone up. So the big question, is toning possible? Kinda. So in theory, the answer is no. You can't build new muscle tissue and burn body fat at the same time. It's not how thermodynamics work. However, as a beginner, you kinda can do that pretty well. That's because your body's so new to the stimulus that you're giving it, it just figures it out. I'll go into more detail on this in another video, but for now, take my word for it. Step number 3, you've figured out your goal, you're headed to the gym, you know what you want to achieve, but how the hell are you gonna do it? So number 3 is going to be research exercises. So you've decided your goal, you know what you want to achieve, you're headed to the gym, but what the hell are you going to do when you get there? Let's assume you want to build some muscle, so you know that you need to challenge your muscles via lifting weights to make them grow. But what do? You need to do the right exercises. So if you want to train your arms, you need to do arm exercises. So jump on YouTube and research arm exercises, leg exercises, watch some stuff, get familiar with some exercises that you can try in the gym. And as soon as I can, I'm going to be filming sort of a mini series, a playlist of these simple kind of videos, how to do a bicep curl, how to do a squat, how to do a tricep extension. So you guys will be able to check those out. I'm gonna knock those out as quick as I can for you. So you know your goal, you know your exercises, but how do you actually train when you're in the gym? That brings us to number 4, learning sets and reps. So say for example, you want to build your biceps, you know you're gonna do bicep curls, you go in the gym, you find a dumbbell, and what do? Do you do 1 or do you do 1,000,000? Do you stop? Do you keep going? We'll get more in depth to this on another video, but essentially when you're doing weight training, everything's divided into sets and reps. So a set would be one time you pick up the weight and do X amount of reps. So if my training program said that I had 3 sets of 10 reps of bicep curls, I would grab the weight, I would curl it for 10 repetitions, that's 1 set. I'll then take a rest for a minute or 2 and then come back and do set 2, another 10 repetitions. I messed up, camera died, so I thought move, give you a change of scenery. So you might be wondering why I say 3 to 10 reps, and it doesn't have to be. It could be 1 rep all the way up to 50 reps. And the reason for that is there's a few things we need to do to cause a hypertrophic stimulus, to cause hypertrophy, which is growing muscle. So those 3 things are: number 1, intensity, how hard you push the muscle. Number 2 is volume, which is how much work you make the muscle do. So I said we will do 3 sets for the biceps, so it might be something like 10 sets for the biceps across the whole week, spread out across the week. And number 3 is frequency. That's how often we train the biceps. So we could train it once a week, or we could train it 3 times a week. You know, bicep curls on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which just is the better way to do it. Take my word for it at the minute. So as you can imagine, that leaves you with a whole range of stuff you could do. You could do 2 sets of 5 reps, or you could do 8 sets of 10 reps. Of course, when you're doing this, the weight is different. The lower the repetitions, i.e. 5 reps, it's typically going to be a heavier weight that you're using because you want to push the muscle. So if it's 5 reps and it's a very light weight, it just doesn't work. And if it is 30 reps, of course, you're only going to be able to accomplish 30 reps with a light weight. It's still going to work out that you're pushing the muscle close to failure. You pick the right weight. Okay, so step number 5, you know your exercises, you know what you're trying to do, you know about sets and reps. So to really solidify things, you need to know what your training week is going to look like. So basically what that means is you're going to structure your training workout across the week into something called a split. And that's just a way of tracking, logging, writing down what you're actually going to be doing in the gym. So your split is going to cover everything that you're trying to do in your training week across the week. And it's going to detail all your body parts and how many sets and reps and everything you're going to do in the gym. So for example, in our split, we're going to want to know what we're doing for chest. So we know we want to train chest, and we know we want to do X amount of sets and reps. So potentially on Monday, we could just call it chest day. And written down in that split, it's going to say 3 sets of bench press, 3 sets of cable flies, 3 sets of dumbbell press for X amount of reps on each one. Tuesday might be legs, Wednesday might be shoulders, Thursday might be back. There are tons of different methods and splits or routines you can follow. So in another video, I'm going to teach you how to work out your own split. It's a little bit more advanced, but I personally think it's a much better way to do things. But for you guys, or anyone that is a beginner, the best thing you can do is jump online, Google, look up, research splits, talk to other people about what their split is. You'll find loads of common stuff. And it's easy enough to just find a template and follow that until you find your feet. Okay, last step, step 6, I'm gonna keep it super quick, and that is nutrition, because we could go into serious depth about nutrition. But essentially, if you're dieting, you need to put yourself on a diet. You need to eat less calories so that your body will burn body fat. And if you're trying to build muscle or strength, you need a caloric surplus. You need to eat more food than your body needs, so it has building blocks to build new muscle tissue. So you might think, well, I don't know how much I'm eating. How the hell do I do that? What you need to do is track your calories. So luckily we live in an age where we have a billion apps you can download, MyFitnessPal, etc. You download what's called a macro tracker. So macros are the name for carbohydrates, fats and proteins. You get a macro tracker, you have it on your phone, and throughout the day, everything that you eat, you tap it in, you log it on the macro tracker, and it will add up the calories that you've had for the day. So you need to track your calories, you need to figure out your own unique number of calories that you need to gain weight. The best way to do this, not the quickest, but you need to weigh yourself every day. You need to go to the toilet first so everything's regular, weigh yourself in the morning, and keep a note every day of how much you weigh. Eat whatever number of calories it is, but make sure it stays the same, say 2,500 calories per day. See if your weight goes up or down. That's going to tell you if you're eating enough or too little. As for what you eat, as I said, we can go into so much detail. The only thing you need to worry about if you're trying to build muscle is you need to eat enough protein. Now, typically what's recommended is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. People used to get quite worried about this, thinking that's not enough. You just got to eat so much more chicken and beef, and they would say 1 gram per pound of body weight minimum. Recent studies and the literature has actually said you really don't need to worry that much. It's almost 1 gram per pound of body weight is plenty. So when you're tracking your calories, make sure you're getting at least that much protein and you should be good. Okay, I think we're done, guys. I think we covered quite a lot. I really hope this stuff helps you start the gym. Let me know in the comments if you found this video useful, and especially if you end up going to the gym after watching this. I would love to hear your story. And if you feel like you're left wanting for more, I appreciate I've touched on a few topics here where you might say, what about this? What about this? There is so much we can go into this, guys, and I am going to be pumping out a lot more videos going back and talking about this stuff. Next video I've got coming, I think, is going to be how to build your training split. So look out for that one. But for now, I'm gonna get a session in myself, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel and you've liked it, subscribe. It would really help me get the ball rolling. Like the video too if you enjoyed it. But for now, I'm out of here. Cheers.